we go. Pushing them off again. And they'll line them up again with a little bit different lineup with two cars going to the pits. They'll have to restart at the rear. So now you're going to have Tim Jedrzak and Danny Shirey, the front row, but the second row is going to be Ryan Conium and Dave Schulich Jr. Row 3, Ben Seitz and Trent Stevens. Row 4, AJ Lasecki and Chris Purley. Row 5, Mike McVetta, Mike Lichty. Row 6, Kyle Edwards and Mike Ordway Jr. Row 7 will now be Nick Capolini and Lou LeVay Sr. And row 8 will be Mark Samet and Dave McKnight. McKnight was going to start in row 7 anyway, but that's a big drop for Samet from the inside of row 2 to the inside of row 8.
Looks like they're going to push Dave McKnight off again, too. But you got to remember, he's running that car in both classes. Side cell versus no side cell. I didn't even really look, but they probably took the side cell off because they didn't need it for this race.
Yeah.
So that could have been where your fuel issue is.
Sure.
Many different things.
Well, they got a push truck in behind the 70. We'll see if he gets out here or not. They continue to work on it.
Well, it's been a minor delay, but when you see these guys go around the track, it's definitely worth the wait.
And they are told to go side by side. You're coming to white. And it looks like McKnight is not going to get out. Well, caution flag, going to have another lap.
They're giving one courtesy lap for the 70.
Push truck is moving in behind it, and here he comes.
Good news, got a full field.
And they're going to let the field is going to pass McKnight. He will fall in at the rear. Otherwise, you would have had to try to really put the hammer down and come around and catch the back of the field. That would have taken a lot more time. So here he goes, falling in at the rear of the gate.
White flag coming out.
One more time around, we will go green coming out of turn number 4. Well, they gave enough time to run the speedy dry in that has been laid down here between 1 and 2. That was for the rear end grease of the 78 Mark Samet. Picking up the pace now, it is Jedrzak and Shirey in that front row. Conium and Schulich in row number 2. Picking it up, coming down between 3 and 4. Looking for the green flag as they come off that 4th turn. Green flag is out there. And coming down hard on the front straight, it is the 97. Taking off into the number 1 spot. Shirey trying to hang on to second. But down to the inside goes Schulich. Another car charging down to the inside there, working hard to come around the Shirey car. 3 or 4 cars have already passed him. Schulich has moved into second. Trent Stevens as running in third, and the 72 of Shirey finally gathers it up. He is in the number 4 position. Shirey in that 72 started outside front row. Side by side, Chris Purley coming on the outside. Purley now down, takes over from the 74 of Ryan Conium. Moves in behind the 72 of Danny Shirey. Chris Purley, the rally rocket on the charge. Out in front, the 97, Timmy Jedrzak. Jedrzak out in front. Schulich running in second. Third is Trent Stevens. Danny Shirey is 4th. Chris Purley rounding out the top 5. Then it is Ryan Conium in 6th. Ben Seitz running 7th. Here's Schulich now. Purley rather on the outside. Could not make the pass on the 72 of Shirey. The number 1 of Kyle Edwards, the fastest car in time trials, is mired back in the number 10 spot. Here's Purley now down to the inside. Underneath Shirey, the 72. Purley takes over the number 4 spot. Don't ever count out the rally rocket. Chris Purley up to 4th in the number 11. Your leaders coming off the corner. Another move down here as another car goes by the 72 of Shirey. That is Ryan Conium in the 74. Conium now moving up to the number 5 spot. Out in front it is Timmy Jedrzak hanging on to the lead, followed by the 1949 of Dave Schulich, the 19 of Trent Stevens, 11 of Chris Purley, and rounding out the top 5, the 74 of Ryan Conium. After that, it is Shirey, Seitz, Lichty, McVetta, and Edwards in 10th. Purley has caught up with the 19 of Trent Stevens. Stevens now trying to get away, trying to move in behind the 49 of Dave Schulich Jr. The shoe 2 hanging on to the number 2 spot. For the number 1 spot, the 97 of Timmy J is pulling away. Jedrzak running laps of 15.6, where Schulich is running 15.9. 0.3 of a second faster for the 97 of Timmy Jedrzak, coming down right now to complete lap number 10. 10 down, 50 remaining. In the Super Nationals here at the Oswego Speedway, battle shaping up for third with the 19 of Trent Stevens holding off the 11 of Purley. Purley going to the outside. Could not make the move out there. Sets back down in behind. Chris Purley in the 11. Yellow flag is out. We got a car up against the outside. I believe it's Danny Shirey. Shirey just came to a halt up there. I don't think he hit anything.
No, I just watched him and something broke obviously in the car and he just rolled it to a stop. Couldn't get down low to get in the pits.
Good run going for Shirey as he had been running top 5. Got the fast shuffle at the beginning, starting on the outside of the front row, but settled down in 4th and then dropped to 5th. But he was running very strong in that position. Something breaking in Shirey going off on the hook. That cost the 97. Timmy Jedrzak a huge lead. He had been pulling away from Schulich, running laps 0.3 of a second quicker.
You know,
Jedrzak the leader.
One nice thing is, you haven't seen Purley really a lot in the last couple of years, but man, he's fast there. He's fun to watch tonight because when he finally got past Danny Shirey, he made up a ton of distance to catch up to these guys. Now, once you catch up, it's a little harder once you lose in the air on the wing, but he's working good on the outside. He might just throw it in there and surprise him. You never know. You don't want to, you can't just, it's so hard just to sit there behind the guy for too long. This is 60 lap is still a quick race in these kind of cars.
Yeah.
And Timmy J can just run away and, just leave him. He'll never catch up. So you got to take advantage of these restarts.
72 of Shirey into the pits. Timmy Jedrzak, the race leader, the number 97. 49, Dave Schulich running second. 19, Trent Stevens is third. 11, Chris Purley is 4th. 74, Ryan Conium rounds out the top 5. Running 6th now will be Ben Seitz in the 32. The 84, Mike Lichty, will be 7th. 22, Mike McVetta 8th. The number 1 of Kyle Edwards in 9th. And the 61 of Mike Ordway Jr. filling out the top 10. Yellow light staying on. It will be a single file restart. ISMA Super Modifieds, like the Oswego Super Modifieds, do single file restarts. And they come at the stripe you will see in turn 3. Any original start. Any original start. Got a picture of Jason Simmons changing the engine on the number 98 to make it ready. Anyway, on any original start, it is double file. The green comes out coming out of turn 4. Once one lap has been completed, all subsequent starts are single file with the green coming out at the white line in turn 3. The pace is up to the leader, and he is setting a slow one right now. People starting to wind it up. Here they come down into turn number 3. And the green is out. One car getting underneath Ben Seitz before the green came out. And they let him back by, I think. Your race leader, though, Timmy J, pulling away. Jedrzak in that number 97, opening up a bit of a lead right away over the number 49 of Dave Schulich. Trent Stevens right there in 3rd with the 11 of Chris Purley in the number 4 spot. Schulich now trying to hold off the 19 of Stevens. They are teammates. The Casper Auto Group sponsoring the 49 of Schulich and the 19 of Trent Stevens. Here comes Lichty now, the number 84, working down to the inside. of the 32 of Ben Seitz. Seitz sandwiched in between the Petco Transportation cars, 74 of Conium and the 84 of Lichty. Here is Purley now, looking again on the 19 of Trent Stevens. Trying to make a run, couldn't do it. Looking to the outside, Mike Lichty goes around the high side of the 32 of Ben Seitz, picks up the spot, goes right after his teammate, out around the 74 of Ryan Conium. And on that lap, Mike Lichty picked off 2 cars. The yellow is out. Got a car up against the wall in turn 4. It is the 72. Not the 72 or the 22? LeVay and McKnight. 70 of Dave McKnight resting up on top of the back of the 66 of Louis LeVay. And the front end on the LeVay car banged up a little bit. I think probably McKnight tried to slow down and spin to avoid and spun a little bit too far, got up on the back of the number 66. So look at the hook down there to lift him up and get him out. Both drivers appear to be okay. Track safety crew up with a 66 of LeVay, waiting for Bob Bogwitz to get over there. The other truck arriving on the scene as the field goes by. And Bogwitz is down there. Let's go down to Bob. In the infield area, we are going to be using the short track. Please evacuate the area around the short track.
Red.
McKnight is out of his car. They're going to stop the cars on the front straight. Refueling is going to be allowed because this could be a lengthy timeout with a 70 and 66. So the hook going in for the 70 of McKnight to lift it off the 66. And refueling allowed here on the front straight. 2 crew members per car, that is it. 2 crew members per car. Track safety crew around the 66 of Louis LeVay. I see Louis moving around in the car, taking his helmet off.
He was saying the tire was sitting on top of the roll cage. He couldn't get out.
All right, well, that's good news.
See.
Both of those cars are scheduled to compete tomorrow in the International Classic.
I was just thinking sleeping's not an option tonight for probably those 2 teams.
I don't think much damage to the number 70. I haven't seen how this started. But they were running, 66 was right ahead of the 70 when that came out.
Two of the youngest competitors too, aren't they?
Well, hopefully we get a look at a replay of what happened between the 66 of LeVay and the 70 of McKnight. As I said, they were running nose to tail. Whether there was contact or one spun and then the other spun to avoid it or whatever, I have no idea. Timmy J, the race leader in the number 97. McKnight comes away, apparently not much damage, if any, to that car. As it, after they got it off the back end of the 66, it's rolling away.
Yeah, he could have just jumped over the left rear at the last minute and just ended up sitting there.
But the rollback coming out for the 66 of LeVay. And again, it could be no more serious than a flat tire. The rollback comes out because it's much easier to, it's hard to tow the Supermodifieds with a wing on it. So they bring the rollback out. It's a lot easier to get the car back into the pit area.
Yeah, it looks like Dave is strapping the helmet back on. He's just going to continue. Well, that's good news for him. Looked a lot worse than it was.
Yeah. Well, he ended up on the back end of the number 66 of LeVay. I don't think he did any damage to the wing. But the way the cars were, LeVay was unable to get out of the cockpit right away. No, McKnight is going to the pits. The left front tire is flat, we are told.
Well, I'll tell you, if it's just the left front tire that they got to change it and go back out, all more power to them. That's awesome.
So he goes slowly into the pits. Fourteen laps have been completed. The red flag because there would have been enough caution laps that they would have been running close to how many laps they had to run before refueling would be allowed. And so it's better to refuel them now than wait until later on and maybe have to stop and refuel for a much less serious situation where you're going to just push somebody off and get restarted. This took a little time to load the 66 up to get the 70 off the back of the 66. And they still are pushing the 70 back into his pit area very slowly. They don't want to run too fast on the flat tire. I think it was more way soft than totally flat.
Yeah, maybe the rim, it seemed to be wobbling a little bit too. Maybe the rim was damaged.
There's a little base 66 going in. And as I said, the car doesn't look all that bad. But we have not seen what happened. McKnight goes in nose first. That's never a good sign. LeVay heading into the pits on the rollback. Again, it will be a single file restart. 14 laps have been completed, 46 remaining. 97 Jedrzejek will be the race leader. Then you've got the two Casper Auto Group cars running second and third. Schulich in second, Stevens in third. The 49 and the 19. Fourth will be the 11 of Chris Purley. And rounding out the top five, the 74 of Ryan Conium. Six will be the 32 of Ben Seitz, and seventh, the 84 of Mike Lichty. So Lichty is going to lose the two spots he gained.
Oh.
We need all crew members off the track. All crew members off the track at this time, please. All crew members.
Yeah, that's going to bite. Losing those two positions because he worked hard, but he blew his teammate away. So that car is obviously working good. I don't think I've ever seen him run slow at Oswego.
That moves him back to seventh. Eighth will be the 22, Mike McVetta. Kyle Edwards will move into ninth. And the 61, Mike Ordway Jr. will fill out the top 10. Everybody's still on the lead lap.
And the thing is, too, the drivers now have a good idea where they stand because their crew just came in and fueled up their cars. And they also told them, you're pulling away from him, you're walking away from him, because sometimes you'll protect your line. If you think somebody's right on you, you won't throw it necessarily out.
Of course, the other crew is talking to him, too.
Well, yeah, no, they just know where they are. Crew members, we're being reminded up here as quick as you can, get off the track whenever you get it fueled up.
And
ready
it's
to go.
also possible after a start that your car is not the same as it was before it.
Oh no, the tires, it's cool. They got a little more weight and fuel now, so it's going to be a little bit different. Within a lap and a half or so, they'll have a good handle where they are.
7, A.J. Losecki running 11th. Running 12th now will be the 78 Mark Samet. 86, Nick Capolini will be running 13th. 72, Danny Shirey. Already in the pits, he is going to get credited with a 14th place spot. Or 16th probably, because you got the 70 of McKnight may come back out. I don't think so. The 66 of LeVay, the same thing. I'm not sure about them. So depends on whether they come back out or not, where the 72 of Shirey is going to finish.
Yeah, I don't know.
Actually, it's not. Because he's already lapsed down. So if they don't come back out, it's going to be the same, except that the 66 and 70 will go from 12th and 13th to 14th and 15th.
I know they're asking if Dave's going to be coming back out. I don't know if he got out of the car, but they're still working on it, so they're not willing to park it yet.
Push trucks coming out. Oswego Speedway track safety crew directing traffic down here. Getting cars in line, getting them where they need to be, getting the push trucks in behind them.
And a little construction going on in the infield.
And look, they're already moving the Jersey barrier out of the way where the modifieds were. They were put in overnight. The modifieds want a pit wall, so they were put in overnight and being taken out now. And of course, a lot of them won't come out until after the super modified feature event, the Super Nationals.
Hey guys, are those Jersey barriers going to stay up there for classics now? All coming out? They can't, because what about this? Right. Okay. Inquiring minds just wanted to know.
So we're about ready to push the field off again. A lot of Jersey barrier will be used during the Super Dirt Week here at the Oswego Speedway. Coming up next weekend, Randy, the Bacon Fest.
Bacon Fest! Gotta love Bacon Fest.
That is coming up next Saturday or both days?
I think it's just Saturday. I don't think there's ever been a slice of bacon I haven't liked.
And McKnight is moving out of his pits. So apparently the 70 will be coming back out. Dave McKnight in the 70.
Well, Mike Lichty did it once. He's going to try and do it again as fast as he can.
I expect Lichty's going to make a move right at the start.
Well, that's what I'm figuring. You know, you don't want to give Ben Seitz a little bit of confidence, thinking, "Oh, I'm running good enough." You know, I can. Right now, he knows that he can get by him, so he's got to kind of run a different line, a little bit more protective. Keeps thinking that he's going to be around him, so you got to jump on him right now when they're insecure. Otherwise, after 5 laps, if he's not there, you know, it comes into a different ballgame at that point.
McKnight being told to pick it up to catch the rear of the field. I believe we're going to wait this time around. .46 laps remaining here in the Super Modified feature event. 13 laps have been complete. Going back to the last fully completed lap, 13 have been complete. So they'll have to actually go around twice before you see the counter go up to 15. Again, Jedrzejek setting the slow pace. Now getting on it down into turn 3. Green flag is out. Look at Seitz going to the outside. Seitz going to make a run this time. Coming around the outside, the high side. Goes by the 74 of Ryan Conium And following him on the outside, the 84 of Lichty. So Lichty gets one of the cars back, but not the other. There's Lichty, though, going to the outside. Maybe he will get the other one back. Off that fourth corner, Mike Lichty in the number 84. Can't make the pass on sight. Sets back in the number 6 position.
Look at Stevens
Trent
on
Stevens
Schulich.
working on Dave Schulich, the team cars. As the field comes down the front straight, it's Jedrzejek out in front, followed by Schulich, and look at this, Trent Stevens racing Schulich hard on the outside. Purley right there in the number 4 spot. Then in his sights running 5th. Right behind him, the 84 of Mike Lichty. Kyle Edwards has moved up to the number 7 position. Edwards on the move a little bit, picking up a couple of spots. But once again, Jedrzejek pulling away as Stevens is working hard on Schulich. Here comes Purley down to the inside. Purley trying to make a run off that fourth corner, couldn't do it. Meanwhile, Lichty going around Seitz, trying to get by the number 32. Can't do it. Seitz hanging on to that top 5 spot. Jedrzejek pulling away again in that number 97. Jedrzejek running 15.7. Schulich a 15.9. Trent Stevens back there in the number 3 spot. Here comes Purley again working on Stevens. Meanwhile, Seitz and Lichty have a battle going for the number 5 spot. Out in front, Timmy Jedrzejek in that number 97. The battle for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th between Schulich, Stevens, and Purley down to the inside. Again, can't make it happen off the 4th corner, but Lichty, meanwhile, gets by the number 32 of Seitz and pulls right away from him. Here's Purley down to the inside of Stevens. Purley on the inside, Stevens the outside. Stevens trying to battle back. Purley trying to hang on down the front straight. Here they come, and Stevens almost back out in front. Purley hard on it on the inside. Purley hard on it, hangs on to the 3rd spot. Stevens, though, going to try him again on the outside. Meanwhile, Jedrzejek just continues to pull away. Jedrzejek out in front. Schulich running 2nd, Purley now 3rd. Stevens is in 4th, but here comes Mike Lichty. Lichty reeling in the number 19. Off the corner they come, your race leader, Jedrzejek. About a half a straightaway or more ahead of the runner-up 49, Dave Schulich, but Purley now right in behind Schulich. It's Schulich running in 2nd, Purley in 3rd. The 19, Trent Stevens holding off the 84 of Mike Lichty. Out in front, meanwhile, we're running here in lap number 25. And the race leader, Timmy Jedrzejek, man, he has the car out there right now, pulling away from everybody. Jedrzejek in that number 97, the car owned by Howie Lane. 25 laps have been completed, 35 remaining. Look at the battle for 2nd between the 49 of Schulich, the 11 of Purley. Here comes the 84 of Lichty now, working on the 19 of Trent Stevens. That's a battle for 4th. Lichty on the outside. Stevens hangs on to that spot. Jedrzejek out in front. Purley trying to get underneath, can't do it. Meanwhile, on the outside, Lichty can't make it around, goes harder on the outside. Lichty trying to come around the 19 of Trent Stevens. They are side by side down here in 1. Meanwhile, Purley looking to the inside, and Lichty goes around Stevens, finally takes over that number 4 spot. Chris Purley now working hard on the number 49 of Dave Schulich, but can't find a way by. Lichty now trying to reel in Schulich and Purley. It's Purley running in the number 3 spot. Lichty is 2nd, but way out in front. The 97 of Timmy Jedrzejek. Jedrzejek running here in lap number 30. When it come around this time, the cross flags. 30 down, 30 to go. Here's Purley trying to get to the inside, and they both spin. A little fire now going on the 49 of Schulich, but that goes quickly out as the 11 of Purley and the 49 of Schulich come together, both of them damaged.
Now you could see Chris was trying him low, and I think he was trying to back off. I think they actually got hooked together. They didn't seem to be able to separate.
Well, they're both okay. Both drivers are okay. There's Chris Purley out of the car. And the flatbed going to be coming out for the 2 cars. Chris Purley got out to have a few words with Dave Schulich. I don't know if he's checking on him or mad at him. The two cars coming together, coming out of turn number 2. And boy, does that set it up for Mike Lichty or what?
Wow. I think it I just looking at the video here.
Purley and Schulich talking to each other.
He saw the tower. He saw who was coming up behind him. He had to get by him. He went low, but it looked like they kind of got hooked.
Well, they stand down there in turn number 2.
Wow.
A lot of damage done to the front end of Schulich's 49. I'd like to see the replay on that. Purley certainly wasn't happy with it. Both cars suffering quite a bit of damage as they hit each other and then just turned and ran into the inside hub rail. The Schulich car caught fire for a minute. Probably just a little oil got out and on the engine and whatnot. And track safety crews right there got it put out very quickly. No problem. Chris, of course, will be back when the 44, the Oswego Supermodified, for the International Classic tomorrow. And where did he time trial? 14th, so he is in the field. Chris Purley, 14th. I think his best feature finish in the Classic was a 4th. He hasn't run it often. Has the past few years.
Yep, I have no idea. Ever since he got that hot car, though, they've been here every year. He's been very competitive. He's won a race on a Saturday night here in that car.
Somebody has lost a pair of white glasses, a white glass case. I'm not sure which it means. But if you find it, go to the Tiki Bar. It says there's a missing white glasses case with, oh, I got it. White glasses case with expensive bifocal glasses inside. If you find the glass case, please bring it to the Tiki Bar.
The person that's walking around, they're bouncing off the walls, they're not drunk. Those are the people that lost their glasses.
There you go. So the red out for the second time in this race. Now the yellow's coming back on. Push trucks will be coming out, picking up the cars. There's the 11 of Purley in the pits.
Like I was saying, I had my mic off talking to the guys, and they were trying to figure out what was going on. And again, that board, it tells you where the cars are, who's behind you. And Chris was watching that, and he was timing it.
We're going to see the replay.
But he knew he had to get by me because Lichty was coming up. And there, he goes low, and it just looks like they seem to hook up. That was my vantage point. Right now, they're hooked together. Yep, and then he just pushes them off.
Yep.
Yeah, I think he just got close. Certainly didn't try and spin him out. He might have got the wing hooked up maybe in the bumper or something.
Yep.
Yeah, racing deal.
It's one of those things.
But like I say, you see that board, and you see Lichty's moving up, and you know Lichty's a fast driver. You know he's competitive. So he thought, now I think I can pass him. Might as well take advantage of it and see if I can get up to the front.
Yep.
So
we watched the replay, and as we said, they got hooked together apparently. Running tight down the front straight. Purley looked to the outside, back down to the inside, and right there they just boom. How much can you really see? Now, I know you haven't raced with the scoreboard up there, have you?
Oh, yeah.
All right. How
I'm
much
not
can you
that
really
old.
see? How much time do you have to take a look at it and see what's going on, particularly at these speeds?
Oh, I'm never watching the video. I'm not saying watching the video. It's just it shows who's, the car
Right.
order. And that's really, yeah, you have time to take a look at it. You see your number, you recognize your number, you just, who's behind me? Who's behind me? And you do see people as they're clicking up their positions, So he was obviously on a roll because, he passed like 3 cars in like 5 laps, to get him behind Chris. So Chris figured, I've got a car, I'm sitting here. If I'm going to take advantage of a situation, let's do it now. I got to get, I want to get past Schulich.
Yeah.
Again, who's been one of the fastest runners here for quite a few years in the ISMA shows.
Well, and so now you've got the 84 of Mike Lichty moving right in behind the 97 of Timmy J, and both cars running very fast.
Oh, both cars are running extremely fast. This is going to be a good show. I'm not going to say Timmy's going to win, or I'm not going to say Lichty's going to win, but I'm telling you, they're going to put a show on.
So the lap board showing 29 laps down, 31 remaining. Hey, track safety crew having the cleanup just about done over there. Timmy Jedrzak, the number 97, the leader. Mike Lichty, the 84, now running second. Trent Stevens, the 19, will be third. Ben Seitz, the 32, will be fourth. And Kyle Edwards has moved into the top 5 with this. He'll be running in the number 5 spot. Ryan Conium, 74, is sixth. 22, Mike McVetta, seventh. 61, Mike Ordway Jr., eighth. 70, Dave McKnight, now in ninth. And the 7 of A.J. Lasecki, filling out the top 10.
We're only halfway through this race, too, so we can't give it to either one of the first 2 guys right now.
Well, hey, guys, I'm down here with these guys. I'm down here with Chris Purley and Dave Schulich. And, Chris, what happened?
Schulich, he was I don't know, he was running a line that was working. I was catching him. But right when I started to tuck under him there, something was coming out of his car, and he, checked up us. Something happened, and I was really close to him. And when I went out, I caught him, and as he backed off, I caught him harder. And couldn't get off of him.
You all right?
Yeah.
How about you, Dave? How'd you see it?
I was leaking something for a little while, and then right as I checked up off of 2, I got some hot stuff up my left leg. So whatever was leaking was starting to come inside the car, and decided to come in at that point. As I made the left, that's when he hooked me. And, I'm okay. It was a little hot back there. Lost a race suit over it, but that's why we have the race suits that we have.
All right, well, I'm glad to hear you guys are both okay. We'll see you guys tomorrow for the Bud 200.
I actually took him out on purpose because I couldn't get by him.
There you go, guys. That's Chris Purley for you. Always a joker. So
Attaboy,
both of them
Chris.
are all right, and we'll see them back here in the 200 tomorrow.
Chris Purley. Well, so it's a good thing that they're not mad at each other. Everything is okay.
No.
You understand the situation. And when something lets loose and it, comes in the car, gets on your leg or your body anywhere, you can really, get your attention pretty fast.
It surprised you. Last year, I think I drove for Durat. We had a fire inside the cockpit of the car. I didn't even know it was on fire. I noticed I start and feel warm, and it's hard to see your feet when you're driving.
Yeah.
And I remember during a caution, I thought, it's really getting warm. And I lifted my visor, and I tipped my body in a way that I could see it, and I'm going, holy crap, I'm on fire. And I pulled it right to the infield. They put the fire out. And
Mike Ordway Jr. has gone to the pits with a 61.
wow.
But he has a push truck behind him, so he may be coming back out. Nick Capolini had gone to the pits. He's coming back out. The number 86. Dave McKnight has moved the 70 up into the top 10. Looking for the shootout at the beginning here between Jedrzejczyk and Lichty. Jedrzejczyk had been setting a very slow pace coming down to the green, getting on it at the very end. And the cars have jammed up a little bit behind him. He hasn't, I'm not saying he brake checked, he hasn't done that at all. But he has made a very slow restart both times so far. See if that happens again this time, for he tries to pull away right away.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to be predictable.
You know, you really don't want to give Lichty a shot at you starting too slow.
No.
You know, you can't see behind you. He may have backed off a little bit, maybe coming hard. You know, it's yellow flag staying out.
So we still got 30 laps to go. There's top 5, 6, 7 cars are extremely fast. You never know what's going to happen. But it will be a good race up front.
And although it shows 29 laps on the scoreboard, 28 have been completed, going back to the last fully completed lap. We've explained it a few times, but the lap counter cannot be rolled backwards. So we will have to run 2 laps before it will roll over to number 30 and they get the halfway sign. Yellow staying out.
And just giving a courtesy lap to the 86. He's coming out right now. Going to see white flag next time around.
Again, we want to mention everything tomorrow is on schedule. We are not moving anything up. We are starting with the pits opening at 7:30. We will start racing at 12:30. No questions. We're not moving it up. We're starting on time. And the white flag going to come out this time. Timmy Jedrzejczyk, Mike Lichty, Trent Stevens, Ben Seitz, and Kyle Edwards, the top 5. Keep your eye on Edwards. He's got a fast car, too. Started way back a little bit. Started back in the 12th position, is now running in 5th. He gets underneath the 32 of Seitz. On the restart, Lichty. Here comes Lichty on the outside. Lichty blows right on around the 97, but no, he does not. 97 battles back. The 97 of Timmy Jedrzejczyk working hard. Lichty finally gets by him, takes over the lead. Lichty and Jedrzejczyk. Stevens, Edwards has moved up to 4th. Seitz falls to 5th. Ryan Conium and Mike McVenna running 6th and 7th. Halfway here, halfway to go. 30 laps have now been completed for the ISMA Supermodifieds, and it is Mike Lichty out in front and right the check mama. He is pulling away big time. Well, I thought Timmy J had the field covered, but I'll tell you what, the 84 of Mike Lichty has the car. Lichty out in front, Jedrzejczyk running 2nd, Trent Stevens in 3rd, but right with him, Kyle Edwards. Edwards trying to work on Stevens for the number 3 spot at podium finish. Ben Seitz rounds out the top 5 in the 32. Lichty is running 15.7 on that last lap, 15.9 for the 97 of Jedrzejczyk. 33 laps down, 27 to go, and the field really strung out. The only battle going on out there right now is for the 3rd spot between the 19 of Trent Stevens and the number 1 of Kyle Edwards, and Stevens starts to pull away from Edwards just a little bit. Lichty out in front, Jedrzejczyk running 2nd. Stevens now trying to close ground on Jedrzejczyk. Is 1/10 of a second faster than Timmy J. The 97 has slowed down quite a bit from that earlier torrid pace he had been setting. That time, Jedrzejczyk and Stevens had almost identical laps. But it is the 84 of Mike Lichty out in front here on lap number 36 as they click it off. Lichty is the race leader. Jedrzejczyk all by himself in second. Stevens and Edwards third and fourth. Seitz rounds out the top 5. Conium is running in sixth. McKnight is now seventh. Samet is his 8th. Mike Ordway Jr. 9th. A.J. Lisecki is 10th. Nick Capolini runs in the number 11 position. So that is the field right now. 11 cars still running, 16 started. A race of attrition here for the ISMA Super Nationals at the Oswego Speedway. Your race leader coming down is closing rapidly on Nick Capolini, making his first appearance here at the Oswego Speedway. And I think he will definitely go a lap down before this one is over if we stay green. 39 laps have been completed coming off the corner this time. It will be lap number 40. 20 to go for race leader Mike Lichty. Jimmy J still running in the number 2 spot with a battle for third between Stevens and Edwards, but Edwards hasn't tried to make a move in the last several laps. He is content to run back there behind the 19 of Stevens. Edwards in fourth in the 32 of Ben Seitz rounding out the top 5. Your race leader coming off the corner is the number 84 of Mike Lichty. Lichty is the track record holder for the ISMA Supermodifieds with a lap of 14.730. That was set several years ago now. The 19 of Stevens has pulled away from the number 1 of Edwards. 43 laps complete for the race leader. The number 84 of Mike Lichty. Lichty out in front and pulling away, just plain pulling away, as McKnight now has moved into challenge the number 74 of Ryan Conium. Conium just ahead of McKnight and right ahead of the 78 of Mark Samet. Yellow is out. We got a car, Nick Capolini. Nick Capolini or Lisecki? Nick Capolini. Up against the fence over in turn 2, got it into the wall. Capolini making his first start here at the Oswego Speedway, and he's going to be going off on the hook. Quite a bit of damage to the right front of the number 86. Capolini is okay, got the helmet off.
It's good to see him moving his arms around too, just hitting their front tires, you know, spinning the wheel out of your hand like that sometimes. Well,
everybody laughed at Danica Patrick when she was about to hit. She took her hands off the wheel. Everybody laughed at it. Now a lot of people are doing it.
Well, they thought she was taking her hands off way before the accident, though.
Well,
no, I totally understand. When I broke my wrist, I spiral fracture. My thumb was caught in the wheel, ripped my arm all apart, and I hit the wall at probably almost coming to a stop, and that's why nothing in the steering broke, and it came right through the steering wheel to me.
Yeah. And
I ended up out of it for about a year, after
Oh,
that.
really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, rehab. It's nasty.
Bob Bogwitz is down there with the number 86, Bob. You know, Randy, I've had people ask me why they don't run foam all around the track. It would be extremely impractical on the straights.
Oh, yeah. No, they would probably blow it away because they get very close to the wall, There's a runoff area in the corners, and that's where you don't want to be hitting that boilerplate, dead on. To run it down the straightaways, it would be worthless.
Also, if you bump the wall, just bump it with the steel, you're okay. You may damage the car a little bit, but you bump the foam, it's going to grab you.
Oh, yeah, and the thing is, the foam, you probably would blow it over. It would always be moving. No, keep it in the corners.
Capolini is out of the car. He's okay. The car being loaded up on the rollback. We've got 16 laps remaining.
Well, Lichty did show his hand.
He did.
That last restart. He's not one for sitting back, especially on restarts. That is your biggest advantage in any of these classes.
And I bet you he does not have a slow start. He'll be taking off. It's up to the leader when to go.
Right.
And once you're halfway down the back straight, he'll be taking off.
And I'll guarantee you, he will look at that monitor. In about 2 laps, if they got the camera on him, if he's got a second, either he'll see one car or two.
Mm-hmm.
If he knows he can only see one car, he'll just keep on trucking.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, he likes to run away and let people chase him. And I don't think he's really hurting. He's running fast, but the car is so well balanced. He's running a nice high line in 3 and 4. You know, he's not really scrubbing down low. I think the tires will be in good shape for him to make it to the end. It's only 15 laps left or so.
Of course, an entirely different situation coming up next weekend when the Supermodifieds will be at Star Speedway for the Star Classic. That's a 100-lap race. What's that track, a quarter mile? A little more, a little less?
Yeah, quarter mile. It's a 150, I think, also, or 150, 175 or something like that for the ISMA cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you said 100 laps.
Oh, I think it is 100.
No.
No? Well, that's what Sandusky is.
Well, yeah, but that's only a quarter mile. You do a lap in like 10 seconds.
Well, that's true. I'd like to see the little 500 one time.
Oh, that's got to be so
Anderson, Indiana,
confusing.
quarter mile, 500 laps.
Hey, Bobby Santos has seen it quite a bit. He's seen second a lot there.
Yeah.
That has just been one of the races that have run away from him.
I think they start 33 cars, too, 33 midgets.
Yeah, Cody Swanson just seems to be his Achilles heel there when it comes to that track. He finished second to him a lot.
It's Lichty, Jedrzak, Stevens, Edwards, and Seitz. The top 5. Somebody's missing out of there. Seitz is 4th. Edwards went back behind. He's passing again before the green comes out. Edwards down to the inside of Ben Seitz. Whoa. And a car into the wall down here, ups on its side. And the red is coming out. I didn't see the number, didn't catch the number. 74. It is the 74, Ryan Conium. Ryan Conium in the 74 up on the wall sideways. Rode it quite a ways.
Yeah, they got together just before the start-finish line. He ended up turning in, and I don't know if he got upside down before the foam, hit the foam.
He was upside down before he got to the foam. Or not upside down,
there he
actually.
goes. He's
on
out of the
side.
car. That's a great sign right there.
And he is out of the car. Ryan Conium is out and okay. Shaken, of course. That upsets you. And going to watch the replay. Coming down the front straight.
Oh,
Seitz got him.
Him and Seitz got together.
Yep. He was almost to the end of it, and it was really, as flips go, it was kind of gentle. You had one of those one time.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Over in turn 2.
And I did the same thing in turn 4.
So another car going off on the hook. The Patco Transportation number 74 of Ryan Conium. Getting together with the 32 of Ben Seitz. Bob Bogwitz is down there. Bob, tell us about the car.
Hey guys, I got Ryan Conium down here, and Ryan, hell of a hit there. I saw you come down. You get collected with somebody?
Yeah, we were on the inside of the 32, pretty stable. Didn't think anything was wrong. Thought I had clearance, and then I don't know. It got a ton of wheel spin earlier in the night, all of a sudden, and I don't know if that's what happened there. It just, I don't know, stability went away instantly. So hate it for the Patco guys, and too bad.
All right, you're okay though? You feel all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you.
All right. Ryan Conium, guys, says he's all right. He just a little shaken up there, a little upset, but he's fine.
And he is walking back to his pit area over on the back straight. We watched the replay one more time. You're seeing 4 different shots of it up there on the Jumbotron. That did some damage to the wing of the 72 as well. That was kind of like Jimmy Champine's rollover on the front straight. What was that, 1980? He didn't run the season almost the entire year he was out. Was concentrating on running a sprint car, I think. Came out a couple of weeks before Classic and had a rollover just about like that. The car went up on the wall and just flipped over on its side. Came back and led all 200 laps of the Classic. Star is 125 laps.
Ha!
Bob Rodier told me that. Tweeted to me.
You think I would have known? I made the shirts.
125.
I couldn't remember. But I think it's 125. I'm pretty sure it's green, where they used to do 200, including cautions. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, 125 green, he just said. Planning on making my first ever Star Classic this year. I've been to Star before, but I've never been to the Classic.
Oh, no?
Yeah.
No. That's actually a good race. The 350s put on a fantastic race. The street stocks, the super stocks. It's all great racing, and it's done very fast. Friday and Saturday night. I've been down there for quite a few years in a row, and just last couple of years we just haven't made it down.
Well, I'll make the Triple Crown this year. I did Sandusky. Now Oswego, of course, Star next weekend. The following weekend, I'll be at Oswego for the Canadian Sprint Car Nationals. The weekend after that, we'll wrap up the season at Evans Mills. The small block Supermodifieds are going to be there for their season-ending race. I'll do that. Then I'm going to take 1 week off, and then it's Thompson. So, a lot of racing coming up for this guy.
Yep, after this week, it's dirt week for me.
Yeah.
No traveling.
Well, you got to make it over to Bacon Fest, right?
I got to go to Bacon Fest. Oh, yeah.
Still working on getting the number 97 right side up and get it on the hook or the rollback, one or the other. Have to be very careful with this because the car being right on its side, you can't just pull it out and tip it over. It's got to be lifted up carefully. You don't want to do any more damage than has already been done to the number 74. They do pull it out. Now they're tipping it back towards the wall. Pull it out a little bit more. Tip it back a little bit more. Pull it out a little more. And it's back on all 4. Track safety crew and tow truck operator working together to get that car back on all 4 wheels. It looks like the wing has come off this 74, at least mostly off. I don't know if they'll use the rollback or bring it back on the hook with this one. Just lifted it straight up in the air. So it is on the hook. "43 laps have actually been completed, 43. So there are 17 to go. As I said, as flips go, that was a pretty gentle one. And there's the car of Ryan Conium going back into the pits. Conium with a Patco Transportation, number 74. That car driven earlier this year by Mo Lilji. In fact, he drove it last year as well. But right now it's off on the hook. A lot of work to do to that car to get it ready for the Star Classic next weekend, if they indeed are going to the Star Classic. And we get ready to push the cars off Ready to restart the Supermodified Super Nationals. Mike Lichty is the leader. Timmy Jedrzak running in the number 2 spot. Trent Stevens is 3rd. Kyle Edwards 4th, and Ben Seitz will round out the top 5. But he's got, well, I don't think he's got much wing damage. Maybe Conium just caught the wheel when he went over. And the field will gather it up pretty quickly. Boy, talk about a race of attrition. 17 laps remaining.
And you got to think, Dave McKnight was up on top of a car no less than, what, 40 minutes ago? he's got a top 5 in line here.
Yeah, there are only 9 cars remaining on the track. Started with 16. Normally, you would think that would be a pretty clean race.
Yep, typically. But this is, what, is this their 2nd or 3rd race of the season for these guys?
Not very many.
Yeah, they've had a quick year. I know the NASCAR guys are itching to get out of here. See all the haulers all lit up out in the parking lot,
yeah,
waiting to come in.
Yeah. Oh, white flag going to come out this time. Restart will come in turn 3. With 17 to go. See when the 84 Lichty starts to get on it, setting a slow pace. Huh. I figured he'd really start hauling early, but he's not. Now he gets on it. He's got Jedrzak right there with him. Green flag is out. Here comes Trent Stevens. Ben Seitz in the 32, running in 4th. And the 70 of McKnight rounding out the top 5. After being on top of another car not too long ago. Over in turn number 4 as he and Louis LeMay got together, ended up on top of the car when no damage was done, really. So the 84 of Lichty pulling away again. 97 Jedrzak running in 2nd, but Trent Stevens hanging right tough with him in the number 3 spot. Ben Seitz and Dave McKnight rounding out the top 5. Your leader coming down off the corner. Oh, Mike Ordway is fired up the 61.
Hold it off.
As he goes into the pit area, 61 of Ordway. So one more car down. 84 Lichty out in front when they come around this time. It'll be lap number 47 of 60, 13 to go. There's your leader, Mike Lichty. Timmy J running 2nd. Trent Stevens right there with him 3rd. A battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th. Ben Seitz, Dave McKnight, and Kyle Edwards all right together. Mark Salmon next in line, the number 78. He's way back off the pace. And then the 7 of A.J. Lisecki. So 8 cars remaining on the track, and it is all right now in the hands of Mike Lichty, running in lap number 50. Lichty out in front, Jedrzak running 2nd. Trent Stevens is 3rd. The sign goes out, 10 to go. 10 more times around for Lichty. I think Jedrzak is catching him a little bit.
Wouldn't be surprised Lichty's sitting there. You can hear he's letting off a lot earlier now than he was on that restart.
I wonder if it's a fuel problem.
Or just a throttle.
As the 97, Lichty running 16.2.
I think it's just
and Jedrzak running 15.9. Same for Stevens. Here's Stevens taking a look to the outside of the 97. Can't make the run out there. 52 laps have now been completed as Trent Stevens working on the 97 of Jedrzejczyk pulls to the outside, side by side. Jedrzejczyk trying to hold him off, coming down
too
off
high.
the corner, and he does. Jedrzejczyk still running in second. Stevens is third, and now the Lichty 84 picks the pace back up. I thought he had done that, back to a 15.8 on that last lap. Lichty out in front now with 6 to go. Lichty the leader, Jedrzejczyk second. Stevens is third, Seitz is fourth, Edwards rounds out the top 5. McKnight is running in 6th, Salmon is 7th, and Lichty fills out the field. 5 laps to go. Lichty, the only other car out there, he is running on the lead lap in the 8th spot.
I didn't even know Kyle Edwards got by Dave McKnight.
55 down as they come off the corner now, 4 laps to go. Race leader is Mike Lichty. He took the lead from Timmy Jedrzejczyk. About 20 laps in, he started to make his move and just went to the front in a hurry and got Jedrzejczyk. And from that point on has just been pulling away and pulling away right now again. Lichty with 3 laps to go. Jedrzejczyk has pulled away from Trent Stevens. Stevens running in third, though the 3 podium finishers. Seitz and Edwards have a pretty good battle going on for 4th and 5th. 2 laps to go now. 2 more times around the sign for Mike Lichty. Lichty, Jedrzejczyk, Stevens, Seitz, and Edwards, the top 5. With McKnight, Salmon, and Lichty filling out the field. The white flag for the 84 of Mike Lichty. Good strong run for the Patco Transportation number 84. He will beat the 97 of Timmy Jedrzejczyk, the 19 of Trent Stevens on the podium. There's the checkered flags coming out for Lichty, Jedrzejczyk, Stevens, Seitz is 4th, and Edwards rounding out the top 5. McKnight is 6th, Samet was 7th, Lichty finished in 8th. Ordway and Conium fill out the top 10. They both ended up the race in the pits, however. Something broke on the 78 of Mark Samet right at the end, or he ran out of fuel or whatever. He has coasted to a halt on the back straight. Well, you got 1st and 2nd down here. 3rd didn't stop. Lichty taking an extra lap around the track. We'll pull down here into victory lane in just a minute as he comes around. If you're leaving the Oswego Speedway right now, we want to remind everybody, please buckle up for safety. Do what the drivers do. You're not going to be thrown free. And if you've done any drinking here tonight, please let somebody else do the driving on the way home. We want to have you all back tomorrow for the 63rd Budweiser International Classic. Pulling down into victory lane, the winner tonight